The cloud. It's a word we've had for a long time, and for most of us, we think of these fluffy things that we can look out of our windows and make funny shapes of in our mind. Think about it. We've all done it. But in today's modern tech world, it's where a lot of our data and information is actually stored. You know, all of us use the cloud, whether it be for cloud saves or whether we store our photos in the cloud. And it's also how a lot of us consume our multimedia, whether it be TV and movies like Netflix and Hulu, or music like Spotify or Groove. Spotify. That's right, Spotify. With that being said, the idea of a streaming box for gaming has some people feeling uneasy, and I completely understand that. Now, if you live in a rural area like I do, and if it were to become the only way to play games, it'd sadly leave me and millions of other people on the outside looking in. Now, I'm not a big fan of change. If you follow me or my channel, you know this. And I see on my timeline a lot of others feel exactly the same way as I do. Let's try to keep things in perspective, though, shall we? There's a lot of overreacting when this kind of stuff comes up. We all know the Scarlett streaming service or whatever is just going to be an option. So let's keep it in perspective, try to talk it out. First of all, game streaming, though, is nothing new. Gaikai and OnLive have done this for a long time, and it didn't catch on. Believe it or not, Sony's been doing PlayStation Now for 5+ years already, and point of fact, they were allowing you to stream PlayStation games to your PlayStation Vita, Samsung TVs, and even Sony Blu-ray players. And guess what? It didn't catch on. And it did so poorly that they eventually cut the service to everything except for the PS4 and Windows PCs. Now, people are pro streaming, like they're for it. They want streaming. They say it's okay, it's cool as an option. They'll say that those services weren't as well refined as Microsoft's approach will be, and that's probably correct. But the negative stigma is already there. That is going to be hard for Microsoft or any company to overcome. A lot of us are just like, hey, you know what? I'm not really interested in that. It's not going to work. It's not the same thing as a TV show or anything like that. This actually requires us to interact, and that's something completely different. Also, in fact, an NVIDIA Shield can also do PC game streaming at high resolutions with high frame rates, but it hasn't caught on with PC gamers because they prefer local hardware as well. Now, I'm not wishing Microsoft's streaming service to fail at all. I think options are good, and I think this is something that is going to be an option for people at a low cost. Do I personally feel like this will be the next evolution for gaming? No. Do I feel like companies will want to push it to be that, though? I'm not even sure of that, to be honest with you. Because think about what PlayStation and Xbox are. They're game consoles that play mostly third-party games. Sure, we argue about the exclusives, but at the end of the day, 95% of what we all play are the third-party multi-platform games. Now, if streaming were all that we had as an option, why wouldn't these third parties just do the streaming things themselves? Add it on TVs or little, even Netflix, right? Something like that. Why wouldn't they just do that themselves? Meaning Sony and Microsoft would then only have exclusive content to stream. They need a box to distribute their partners' games, and making a push for only cloud compute games would likely result in a 2013 Xbox One level reveal type of backlash, and I don't think any of these companies want that. They want to reach more gamers, right? You can only reach a certain amount of gamers through hardware, and they want to reach those other gamers, the more casual gamers. That's what this is all about. Now, I'll always opt for local hardware, and just like when Play Anywhere was announced and made to be a big deal, remember how big a deal that was supposed to be? And it really wasn't. Now, I suspect this is a direction Microsoft wants to go in order to gain those casual gamers at that casual price. And I suspect no matter how low latency they make it, it'll never match what we get on our consoles. After all, the hardcore, I'm talking the truly hardcore, go out of their way to get the TVs or the monitors with the fastest refresh rate, with the least input lag for a reason. And no matter how you slice it, having to play a game in the cloud, which is taking place at two places at the same time through internet cables, is going to experience some level of input lag for true hardcore gamers. We're going to notice. And saying you'll switch to PS4 when they have a streaming service as well doesn't really do any good either. It's an option there and has been for 5+ years, like I said earlier, and we've all managed to play our games on a local box called the PS4 with no slowing down yet. So just because it's an option and just because Microsoft will want to introduce it as an option doesn't mean the end of Xbox. Sony announced PlayStation Now at the beginning of the PlayStation 4 life cycle, and it's not the end of the PlayStation. It's options, and it's probably options that a lot of us aren't even going to bother with. So take heart, take heed. It's not the big deal that people are making it out to be. There's no sense in being freaked out about it. Let's just, see what happens. Take it day by day. and hopefully everything works out for the best. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.